Hi, I'm John from What Mountain Bike magazine, and I'm here with Dan from Scott Sports. We're here today with a pretty special bike. Dan, can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, what we've got here is Scott Spark 700, so 27.5. This is Nino's actual bike that he raced on in Hafjell. There's only 2 of these Sparks with this paint job and 1 scale, so it's a pretty special bike.
Yeah, that's not just the paint job that's special, though. It's pretty much the attention to detail that's gone into every little bit of kit on this is pretty thorough.
Yeah, Nino has a pretty specific setup for himself, and yeah, the mechanics Yannick as well have gone through and picked out the crop of components that's going to be the lightest that they can to fit on it. So for instance, we start at the front. He's got his stem and bars slammed completely. He likes to have a really low front end. So low in fact that he doesn't even run a top cap, so they can slam it even a few more mil there. He's running a DT Swiss lever that controls both the shock and the fork, which again are both DT. He's got a 100mm fork on there instead of usually what we run and we spec on the production bikes as a 120. As we move through the bike as well, the wheels, again, tubular wheels with Dugas tyres. They're all handmade Dugas tyres, pretty expensive, but pretty impressive grip, and you can run a little bit lower tyre pressures in there without fearing a puncture.
Basically, tubs are sort of kind of like your normal rim, except instead of having a hooked bit on it, you actually just glue the tyre onto it, which then means that you lose a little bit of weight, and also means you can run them even lower pressures, even lower than tubeless, because you don't need to worry about the rim or about the tyre moving off the rim. So it's just like another way that you can lose even more weight without too much like a grip penalty or anything like that.
Saddle, seat post, all carbon. I mean, the guy's got a lot of power, so he pushes a 36 ring, and we've got a little chain guide on there that usually when the guy's descending, dirt and muck fly in and clog up the teeth on the chain ring. And all the chain guide does, is pushes the chain back into the chain ring
when makes sure it clears through.
Yeah.
So just out of interest, on a similar bike that's spec'd with XX1 from the factory, what size chain ring would that be running?
Usually, around, the one I ride at home and the one I ride around our lunchtime World Cup race is a 32 tooth. So for instance, we spec around a 32 tooth on those. So yeah, he's running a 36. He's got the power and he wants to run even bigger, so for instance on his scale he wants to run upwards of up to like a 40 tooth really.
So do you think for the majority of his races this year it'll be on full suspension, or will it be on hardtail, or will it be just as and when he decides which one he needs? Now
he's got the toolbox with the scale and the spark in them, both set up exactly how he likes, and he's comfortable on both. I think it's literally going to be, he can cherry pick what he wants depending on what's laid out in front of him.
And he's exclusively on 27.5 wheels?
For him, yeah, 27.5.
Yeah, because he was a big part of the drive between Scott sort of kind of investigating 27.5.
Yeah, for sure. He's usually rides the medium frames, and he felt with 29er he could see the advantage of the wheels, but he didn't like the compromises that it gave with longer geometry and the kind of steering characteristics and ride feel of it. So yeah, he was a big factor to driving us to trying out the 27.5 wheel size.
So he's pretty well known for being able to like hustle a bike down a descent as well.
Yeah, really, he used to race downhill before he did cross country, I think. So he's an incredible rider actually.
So anyway, be pleased to know that the all-up weight for this bike, if you want to build a Nino replica, you're going to be aiming for 9.25 kilos, which is around £19 in old money.